students, welcome back. This is Torres, elbow bump. How are you? Are you doing okay? Is your family okay? Remember, if you need anything, please send me an email so that I can try to help in some way. So lucky you, you get to hear my voice for another lecture. But the best part is we will be continuing to work on our final project. Yay! This is the fourth video in a series of videos that will help you get through your final statistics project. In the last video, video 3, we used Excel to clean the data. So we had set aside the original data. We started using the copy that we made of that original data, and we started to clean it. And what that meant was we were going to use Excel to delete all of the cases that did not deal with California, and also all the variables that we didn't need, which were all the months except January 2014 and January 2015, because that's what we wanted to work on. We did a quick look to see what the sample size was for each of the variables, January 2014, January 2015, and we saw that we had an unequal number of observations. While we don't necessarily need the same sample size, we wanted to see if there was a reason why the sample size was important. And so when we went back into the instructions, we noticed that we were going to have to do a regression on this data. And since a regression, you need to plot the independent variable on the x-axis, and you need to plot the dependent variable on the y-axis, it was going to be a problem if we had unequal sample sizes, right? You can't plot just an x, you need a y. Two axes for a reason. So what we decided to do is we decided to delete all the cases that did not have both variables. So first we went in and we deleted all the blanks for January 2014, and after that we went in and deleted all the blanks for January 2015. We checked, and yay, we had equal sample sizes. We made sure we saved that. Throughout the process, we made sure we documented all the changes we made to the data so that we could go back and write our paragraph. So that's how far we got in the last video. It was a pretty long video. It had a lot of Excel in it. But if you notice, using Excel really helped in the cleaning process. So let's see where we are in the instructions. So as you recall, everything that is this dark gray highlight, we've already completed. Just so I don't forget that I also have to still write a brief introduction, I'm going to go ahead and highlight that yellow. That's just something that I like to do because you can't miss that yellow. And it seems like we're here. Write a paragraph on the changes you made to the spreadsheet and why. Remember to include all the information. How did you obtain this data? How many original variables were there? Did you delete some of the data? How many missing values were there? And how did you deal with the issue? How many variables and cases remain for the analysis? Okay, so this is going to be easier, I guess, because we already have everything here in our notepad. Really what we need to do now is just put this in paragraph form. Now, writing up a paragraph describing what you did to the original set of data is in all statistical reports where data cleaning has occurred. One thing I like to tell students and new analysts is once you find a way of writing things that you really like, just use that same paragraph almost as a template for future projects. Make sure that you're careful and you change everything that needs to be changed and the writing mechanics make sense. Ultimately, that paragraph will have more or less the same information. So you might as well use it again if you feel comfortable with it. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Google Doc that I had been working with. And I've got my notes right over here. And I also, you know what, I'm going to start off by putting this information into my Google Doc so I can just kind of mark it off once I address that. So here's my stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and just put that right here. And as I finish addressing this, I will mark it off. So the first thing is, how did you obtain this data? So I can just start typing here. The data was obtained from Professor Torres on Google Sheets. And I'm going to change this to the U.S. housing data. Okay, the next thing I want to do is make sure that I tell the reader what I used for the cleaning. So I can write all data was transferred from the original Google Sheet to Microsoft Excel for cleaning and analysis. Perfect. Then it says how many original variables were there? And I actually have this right here. The original set had 85 variables, 3,190 cases, and 252,675 observations. So I'm just going to actually just paste that. And paste without formatting. And I'm just going to do a little cleanup here with my editor because I was just writing notes before. And let's see if there's anything more I should add. No, I think we're good. So let's see. I have finished this portion and I can highlight that too. The next step says, why did you delete some of the data? So I can write, since the only variables of interest were rental values for January 2014 and January 2015 for the state of California, all other variables were deleted. At this point in the cleaning process, the working set of data contained only January 2014 rental values. N equals, how many were there? 373. And January 2015 rental values, N equals, 462 for California. Okay, so that takes care of why did you delete some of the data. And highlight. The next thing it says is how many missing values were there. So I don't just want to go into like there were X amount of values that were missing. Let's use this sentence that we had from before so that we can explain exactly why we needed those equal sample sizes. Okay. So we write down equal sample sizes will be needed because a regression analysis must be performed. All cases for which there were not observations for both the January 2014 and January 2015 variables were deleted. So shame on us, we didn't write down how many were missing, but we can figure that out with some simple arithmetic. Okay, so we can figure out what happened with some simple arithmetic. So we know that at the end of the day, we had 342 values for January 2014 and 342 values for January 2015. But it didn't start off like that. When we started cleaning, we know that January 2014 had 373 values and January 2015 had 462. Okay, so that means that January 2014 had 89 missing variables, right? So if January 2015 had all the same variable information than January 2014, then this would not have been 342. It would have been 373. So we had to delete the 89 missing variables from the 462. So at the end of the first deletion, both variables had 373. So they were evened up with what January 2014 had. However, that's not where we stopped. Where we stopped was 342. So those 31 values that were missing had to have been from January 2015. So at the end of the day, we know that January 2014 had 89 missing values, and January 2015 had 31 missing values. So we just evening it up after each deletion. What would have been a lot easier is if I would have written it down, but I didn't, so I'm going to move forward. Instead of starting another sentence, I'm just going to use a parenthesis and put down IE. IE means in other words, and I'm going to write 89 missing values for January 2014, 31 missing values for January 2015. Okay, let's see where we're at. How many missing values were there and how did you deal with the issue? Dealt with that, so we can mark that off. I love this part. And how many variables and cases remained for the analysis? Again, I can use this sentence that I wrote previously when I was taking my notes to finish this up here and just do a little cosmetic changes, and it looks good. There you go. So how many variables and cases remain for the analysis? I can highlight that. I'm all done with that, and I'm just going to go ahead and delete that so that I can put all my things together in my nice Google Doc, and it's all set to go for the next round. So now let's take a quick look to see what we've done, and looks like we've finished this part. I'm going to go ahead and mark that off in gray. And the next part looks like we're going to start working with the normality test now that we have all the clean data. We'll check the variables for the assumptions of normality in the next video. So what's the big idea? Today's big idea is that when you document your changes to the data throughout the process, it makes writing the report easy. Keep examples of good writing, so if you ever need it in the future, you have it handy. So that's it for today. Don't forget to check your emails, check Blackboard, do your homework, and subscribe to this channel. Even better, hit that notification bell so you know when there are new videos for this course. Okay, this is your teacher Tora saying stay safe, and I will be waiting to give you a virtual elbow bump in the next video. Ciao!